Welcome back to the show. Check out these headlines. We got Brad Garlinghouse. We've got Ripple. We've got Accenture. We've got the world changing right before our eyes. And are we about to see a bullish cross for XRP? You're not going to believe it. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, we have a $1.5 trillion market cap for cryptocurrency. The market is up 2.4%. Bitcoin now 38,200 plus. Ethereum just over 2,000 bucks, 2,057 and change. And we see Tether market cap now 89.1 billion plus. That may be an all-time high. And we still don't know how the U.S. government and Department of Justice and Treasury feel about it. Just saying. Number 5 spots XRP, 61 cents. It's up 1.1, and it's on the 24-hour, up 2.9 on the 7-day. Range of price very quickly is 0.6049 on the bottom, 0.6168 on the top. We will get into some TA today, and I think you're going to enjoy what you see. But before we get going here, I want to show you this. Let me get this going here. The computer and the internet, the worldwide interweb has been very, very tough here at this house today. But let me tell you something. Link to, ladies and gentlemen, where you get the best private equity in the world. Circle's back on the board. Don't forget Ripple. Don't forget Link to itself, Uphold, PolySign, Glint, so many other incredible companies. It's all right here. All you have to do is go sign up and register and get started today. What are you waiting for? Let's look at this. This is from Wrath of Common here. Thallo, Web3 carbon credit network founded with Ripple, is basically building a gateway for carbon credits with their two-way bridge. Proprietary chain, voluntary carbon market, just connected with Social Carbon in August and hired former R3 executive as the CCO. How about that? Now, I'm showing you that because we know carbon credits, whether you're a fan of that market or not, is going to grow very, very quickly in the near term. So I'm showing everybody that now. Now here we see this, and I would expect to see more of this happening. Shout out to Emma Yoshikawa here. Tokyo hosts an XRP Ledger DeFi hackathon. Ripple encourages developers to innovate on the XRP Ledger. We love seeing that, and you're going to absolutely see more of that over the coming years. Now, let's get a look at what is happening here in the finance world, because what we're looking at is a Digital Pound Foundation sharing here. Gilbert Veridian, the founder and CEO of Quant Network, talking about the importance of tokenization and moving forward. Check it out.
I really saw the potential of what a digital pound can bring to the UK and what it can do for businesses and consumers. And working on it since then, the time is right to be able to bring that into fruition for the UK and other jurisdictions. And what it really means for consumers and businesses, commercial banks and institutions,
that's right,
is really the ability to have programmable money. And that really allows smart money to operate and take away a lot of the pain points that we have in a binary system, because money is quite binary, and it needs to evolve to keep up with the digital lives that we all have today and the digital world we live in.
Absolutely. Now let's take a look at this very quickly here. This is David Treat, Senior Managing Director at Accenture, Ripple Partner, Digital Dollar Project, just to name a few. Yeah. Take a listen to what he says here about the efficiency of digital money like stable coins or CBDCs.
So David, first, I know you have some feelings about phrases like money is already digital. And can you unpack for us what tokenization really is, why it's different? What does this unlock for us? What does tokenization do uniquely or differently?
Great question.
Yeah, it is. How many people face that question, or you know, have to still answer that question of like money is already digital? Yeah, all right. So I see a number of hands. It's one of my least favorite phrases to hear or need to respond to. I don't mind the question, but because it limits the conversation, right? We live in an increasingly digital world, and when we put our human needs at the center of it, we need solutions to be able to help us bring our identity, money, and objects and assets with us from digital experience to experience. We can't do that today. Today, we are constrained to a username and password individual relationship with each service provider in our life, and lo and behold, identity, money, and objects, every business transaction, I would love to hear if somebody can think of one that doesn't, involves identity and money.
Bingo.
Most of them also involve an asset or a service, in the digital world. We are innovating against these tracks independently.
That's right.
I will go from here to another conference that's entirely focused on digital identity and verifiable credentials, and it's all based on the same underlying technology of a provably unique object in the digital world. And so we've had a huge focus at Accenture and with our partners over the past year in particular of bringing these innovation waves together to actually put the actual human, whether it's an individual human or groups of humans in a corporation, their needs together to say, look, I need to be able to bring my identity, money, and objects with me from experience to experience across firewalls to get the services and products that I need. I need universal wallet infrastructure to be able to hold that.
That's really it right there. He's got it. He's got it. That's why they're partnered with Ripple. And here is the importance of having stable coins, certainly central bank digital currencies, which I'm not a fan of, but they're coming, right? And this is why it's so important, because when you get stable coins and legislation that allows the banking world to use those stable coins, you have 24/7, 365 banking.
I think all banks are looking at this space. I'm based in Dubai right now. Every bank wants to know basically how to launch their own stablecoin, or it's a topic they're looking at very much, because there's a lot of efficiencies. Just the simple 24/7, 365 netting on all the time is a huge uplift from banks which aren't even mostly open the majority of the day, basically.
That's right.
So the settlement period, I think there's a lot of easy go-to-market in that one compared to launching equity, for example, on chain, which is still a long way down the road. I think all banks.
That is such a key point, because that is what we're waiting for. And you have to ask yourself, understanding that, ladies and gentlemen, where does Tether fit into this? We know what Bitfinex thinks here. It says, yeah, Tether fraud tokens are going away. If you take a look at this, there may be a hint leaning into this. And we've had this question about Tether for years on this channel. Treasury is now asking Congress to grant it new power to go after crypto fintech platforms used by militant organizations, as we know, as transnational criminals and rogue states turn to digital assets to finance their activities. This is the narrative. This is the motto right here. Be advised that cash itself, physical paper cash, is what's used for more criminal activity than anything in the whole wide world. So you get the narrative. They want control, and they realize with the current laws and rules on the books, they don't have the kind of control that they want. So what we see here is Deputy Treasury Secretary Wally Adeyemo wrote in a letter to Senate Banking Chair Sarah Sherrod Brown and Patrick McHenry, ranking member, and then of the House, Tim Scott as well, and Maxine Waters, why it matters. This is the important part. The letter, along with the accompanying term sheet, it says here, with legislative proposals, marks a significant development in efforts to subject digital asset firms to the same anti-money laundering law rules that apply to banks, asset managers, and other traditional Wall Street institutions. This is what we have been waiting for. Brad Garlinghouse has said it himself. Listen to him say it again. I'll bring you right here to where it says it. Listen to Brad say it right here.
There's some basic things I feel like we have to agree. If we want that progress, we have to agree on some basic things. And I think, I still do find categories of the crypto community fighting some of these basic regulatory frameworks. AML is going to matter. KYC is going to matter. And if you're taking the point of view that we're going to circumvent those things, that's not the industry I see out 5 and 10 years from now that
That's exactly right. Shout out to Brad Garlinghouse. And here it is from the Treasury, Deputy Treasury Secretary Wally Adeyemo here. What is he saying? Development and efforts to subject digital asset firms to the same anti-money laundering rules that apply to banks, asset managers, and other traditional Wall Street firms, as we have been waiting for. And when we get that, let's take a look at this.
Regulation done right can really unlock the crypto sort of utility to come in place.
Absolutely. That's Senda Young from Ripple. Keep listening to what this gentleman says here.
Yeah, I think not beating the dead horse, I think it was the same thing, but I think regulation could be the big unlock, right? Because there are a few people who are very comfortable building with no rules and kind of wild. There's this festival in the desert called Burning Man. It feels like it's the Burning Man movement. A lot of people, I would never go out there. There's no shop. I don't know what you mean. I can't pay for anything. It sounds crazy. But you get 80,000 people going to the desert and having fun and partying. So it feels like that's where at the moment, which gets a group of people. But in terms of really mainstreaming, I think to allow, if you have an idea for a business and you want to start it, basic ideas like Michael was saying, how can I hire people? It can't be that complicated. I don't want to get arrested. Like, what's all this offshore stuff? This seems crazy. Can I get? So there's basic stuff in terms of the operational side, but in terms of regulation, you don't really want to start a company and then, the Ripple is fighting the fight. I mean, it's a wild ride. So I think once that can get hopefully sorted out or have a little bit more clarity, I feel there's going to be a massive unlock where all those smart people who are already working in the space, I think there are 11,000 more smart people from Meta available as of yesterday. So I think there are a bunch of people who want to get in, and I think it's just demystifying and again, de-jargoning and having a little bit more ground rules and regulation. Then I think there will be a massive, from 10 years, I think hopefully the innovation that we've had in 10 years can be replicated in a year, I think once the unlock happens.
10 years in a year. And the catalyst is exactly what we have said 100,000 times on this channel. Regulation. But ask the early maximalists, the tribalists in this space, and they'll laugh at you. Oh, this is decentralized. We don't need anybody's permission. Oh, really? Or how about this one? No, that happens in the U.S. That doesn't pertain to us. The U.S. doesn't tell us what to do. Okay. Yeah. Well, the U.S. took a $3+ trillion crypto market and smashed it to $1. That happened. Still that way today. And you know what else? They've done it to the tune that they've scared money from coming into this space, which means they have done it for a long enough period of time to let the world know that there will be, just like there is a dark web, there is a regulated web. There is going to be a dark financial side, a dark crypto side, and there will be a hugely regulated side. It's going to be the same way, and the only way to make the world feel that is to put regulation, ambiguity, some jackass like Gary Gensler in place to be able to cast that shadow for all the massive money that wants to come into this space to say, not yet, not until they lift the veil for regulation. And here's Naveen Gupta dropping knowledge right here, going to tell you about the picks and shovels. This is why we talk about Link 2 and private equity. All you have to do is click the link and get started. Take a listen to what Naveen says here. Very powerful.
As a Ripple, we are an enterprise crypto payment solutions company. Our payments is now becoming a smaller part. Lots of other things are emerging and becoming bigger and bigger. So let's take simply an institution that wants to use crypto for any purpose, either for tokenization, for payments, for custody. We are building solutions to essentially provide that. We are one-stop shop for an institution that wants to delve into cryptos, right? Information almost became zero cost. So you can send millions and millions of email. It really doesn't matter. All you pay is $39.99 per year, per month, or per year, depending upon your subscription fee. Exactly the same thing will happen to money as well. My advice would be, don't worry about where digital assets are going. Invest in picks and shovels. So Levi's, which produce jeans, people who were producing picks and shovels, you can't go wrong with that because the industry will become 50, 100 times bigger, and the infrastructure will always win, irrespective of which digital asset wins.
That is such a remarkable comment from Naveen Gupta. no doubt about it. And then here we have this. While all of this is going on, we're on the cusp of getting conversations really going in a meaningful way in Congress with Treasury about legislation, rule writing. The dollar Dixie, great fall, says Egrad Crypto. Downward spiral has begun, and as the Dixie closed below the 0.702 at 103, prepare for this imminent shift. And we know that normally history has spoken that if the dollar's up, crypto's down. If the dollar's down, crypto is up. And speaking of the dollar being down, we're looking at this. At the same time that the dollar Dixie is showing a downward move, we see that we're just about at a place for a bullish cross, which is extremely bullish for crypto and certainly this XRP chart. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. Now, I'm encouraging everybody to join the Freedom Zone. And you know what? We've got a new benefit for everybody. It's full access to the private Digital Perspectives Telegram group. And it is an amazing group of people, some of the smartest people you're ever going to meet, and a great way for you to continue the conversation that is amazing already inside the Freedom Zone. Do not mess around. It is almost nothing to join this incredible conversation. And look, we're having fun and it goes well beyond crypto. Let me tell you something. So don't mess around. Click the link, go to digperspectives.com and join us in the Freedom Zone or the DPMG, by the way, which will be a private weekly call with a library of information and a mastermind of brilliant people to talk and mastermind and network with inside of the group. No doubt about it. We'll see you inside. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. I'll catch all of you on the next one.